Well, we thank God. Many Nigerians will be breathing that prayer. We thank God because the strike that had earlier been called by NUPENG, the National Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers, that has now been shelved. On Tuesday, that is yesterday, it was announced that its strike had been suspended. This followed an agreement brokered by the federal government between organized labor and Dangote refineries. Okay, we'll look at that, but not before I introduce my guest. Engineer Olusegun Okedoye is a business analyst and oil expert. Thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
All right then. Yeah. First of all, it's good news that this strike and the extent to which the authorities went, where the federal government, the president, we understand, actually asked the head of DSS to step in there, and that was like an extra assignment.
Exactly.
But I think assignment success achieved.
Yes.
Because now we have this announcement.
Exactly.
Okay. What we'll do before, let's take a report that we have, and then we'll come to the studio, continue the conversation, and take calls from out there.
In the early hours of Monday, normal activities were observed, but for junior workers in the oil and gas sector, the reverse was the case. Tanker drivers parked their trucks and were seen taking quick nap or wearing long faces, worried about the future. The leadership of the Nigeria Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers NUPENG initiated an indefinite strike over alleged unlawful and anti-union practice by business mogul Aliko Dangote and his cousin Aliu Dangote. In a signed statement, the union claimed that Dangote's company MRS recently started recruiting drivers for its newly imported compressed natural gas CNG trucks, but they reportedly compelled applicants to sign an agreement not to join any of the existing unions in the oil and gas sector.
But it's not supposed to be. What about all this depot that they have already built with how many billions? So definitely you want to render them useless. What about all people that are working in the depot? What is going to happen to them? What about the driver that was around here too? What are we going to be doing? Look at all our truck around here now. There's no one working out of them because of Dangote this thing. So we cannot bear that. We agree for him to build the refinery as it was. But for this gantry and the new truck that it's bringing, it's not working.
Dangote wants to create a monopoly. And monopolies tend to stifle and strangulate other businesses from growing. People have invested a lot of money because if only Dangote keeps loading at his gantry, other depots will be rendered redundant, which is not supposed to be. What about other people who have invested their money to create depots? Jobs and employment would definitely will be lost. So now he's trying to say that once his drivers, they must sign an undertaking that when they are employed, they are not going to join any union. That is to say, he wants to trample on the rights of we drivers.
The federal government is set to meet with the union and other interested parties to determine the next line of action.
Ministers have warned that if this impasse is not resolved swiftly, the transportation sector, power and manufacturing sector may grind to a halt, which will further deepen inflation crisis across the country. Sharon Ijason, TVC News.
Okay, thanks to Sharon Ijason there. So that was the situation before the successful meeting. And now the Director General of the DSS, he has stepped in, and apparently they had a very long, lengthy meeting, so reports say. But it's been sorted out now. The main point of disagreement was unionizing.
Yes.
And they have reached an agreement that, look, every Nigerian has a right of free association to, choose who he wants to associate with. I think they both sort of agreed this. Give me your impressions on, one, the whole, why it became a brouhaha at all. What are impressions there? Because you heard a gentleman there paraphrase the reason that Dangote, being this efficient, is going to put some people in trouble. You didn't say it like that, but that's what it means.
That's what it means. I think it is a myopic perspective the persons or some group of people are putting into it. If we look at it on a larger perspective, and the good that will bring to the nations and the economy, it overweigh the individual interests of certain quarters say they will lose their job. Come to think of it, is Dangote truck going to be driven by Angel? Is it going to be driven by Ghanaian? Is it not Nigerian that will drive it?
Yes, but it won't be a member of the
Petroleum Tanker Driver Association.
Yes.
In the last years that the Petroleum Tanker Driver Association has been, what has been their impetus? What has been their contribution? That is so overwhelmingly saying everybody must join that group. International Labour Organization provide for everybody that is a worker in Nigeria anywhere. And Nigeria is a treaty to it. You have the right to say, I'm joining you or I'm not joining you. The overall interest is I'm delivering the service to the nation.
Exactly.
Carefully.
Exactly. But you know how it is. First of all, money is involved.
Exactly.
Let us call this what it really is. They look at it and they see the number of Dangote trucks. They look at the drivers. They'll be paying them. Check-off dues will not come to them.
Exactly.
And I don't know what Dangote's reason. One can only fathom a guess. It must be to continue the efficiency of his operation.
Exactly. I am also thinking in that direction. It is not because of the dues that those guys will pay. No. That is a problem of Dangote. But the efficiency. Because if you don't get your handle on what you are doing, everybody's business is nobody's business. Somebody have to take responsibility and run it the way. Dangote, a lot of people put money into it. There are a lot of interested parties who are putting money to Dangote. And they need to run that business effectively.
Yes.
We cannot go down the way we have run our 4-year refinery. We cannot.
But, you know, when you just look at the way that that gentleman, who I think was a driver, the way he was saying it, his interest was clear. It was a matter of, look, don't talk to me about efficiency. Again, these are not words he said expressly, but the import of us is, leave all of that. What do you want somebody to eat? What is all of this? It's a monopoly that is being created. And I don't think that is it. But whatever the wisdom that prevailed at the meeting that ended up in there now agreeing that, okay, we shall shelve the strike, let's get on with business. But they want the drivers to be unionized, either with the Petroleum Drivers Association or with Dangote. I think Dangote is agreeable to an in-house union.
Actually, it's agreed to it. It does not. It's not inferior to say don't assemble, don't associate. But having to join body with some people who they are not going to the same direction as you, it's counterproductive.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Now talk to me about this. The idea of Dangote refinery. You know, yes, thank God, this refinery has been provided. And it is now on stream, it is working. Nigeria knows it is working. Countries outside Nigeria where Dangote's reach has now, you know, countenanced, everybody knows that it is working. So Dangote then decides that this is now on a global scale and I don't have time for excuses.
Yes.
So whatever it takes to always be on point, that we must do. Yes. Now, it wasn't free. It cost him a pretty penny.
It's a lot of money.
So how did they, first of all, rationalize it to arrive at that conclusion that this is not going to work?
I'm going to take you a bit back to see the importance of Dangote thinking of greenhouse using CNG. Imagine, I'm producing this fuel. I'm producing this diesel and aviation fuel. 40 million liters every day of PMS. And I'm driving my truck with CNG. That is, we are helping the ecological and environmental situation to be green.
That's right.
That's one score. It's contributing to green Nigeria. And also trying to fill the gap for those little cars that need the petrol and those big organizations that may need this product to get it as at when due. I also see there will be sanity on the road, because this kind of driver that would drive CNG will be properly trained, monitored, and cerebral. It's also an industry that's creating a good employment for people who have sound mind. Not just one person from one place just bringing in rackety trailers on the road, causing a lot of havoc, killing Nigerians, killing businesses, burning houses. So my perception, coming back to your question, to say, what's the rationale behind him doing that? Take, for example, if I'm producing 40 million liters of petrol and 20 million liters of diesel, and certain number, millions liters of efficient fuel, I must know how am I going to sell this thing.
Exactly.
Do I put that all this investment with over $20 billion in the hand of somebody that will say, today we are not loading today?
Yes, where I have no control over the distribution.
Who does that? I'm a businessman, as small as it is. I cannot leave the control of my business in the hand of anybody. I mentioned before, everybody's business is nobody's business. That is the syndrome that probably depicts the way we manage Nigerian enterprises, government enterprises. You will think this person will do it, this one will say, oh, I thought you are doing it. No, it needs to know. Put your mouth where your money is. Don't put another person's mouth where you put your money, because they will run it down. And I can tell you, 3 days shutting down, drivers saying they want to collect one milk, they want to collect one something. We look at the economic downturn that we give Nigeria, and not only Nigeria, sub-Saharan Africa, where this guy is sending this product to. We will not allow that, and he should not allow anybody to take us to ransom in the name of union. There must be a way. With the way they have done the meeting with the Nigerian Ministry of Labour and Employment and the DSS and the union, there will be a common ground where whatever is your personal interest inside that thing can also be taken care of. But not bring me the old baby and water. I want to keep it in my backyard. No.
One understands that the management of Dangote, refinery is saying that it can't work that way. Dangote is determined on being as efficient as possible. There was talk about, look, never mind, we can supply direct from the refinery to the destination where it will be used.
Yes.
So that's the first, isn't it?
Yes.
That's another first.
It's another first.
So it shows you how seriously the Dangote management has been thinking about this.
Yeah.
And I suppose, why did anybody think that they're not operating under any kind of duress? What I mean by that is that it would seem that money, even if you say money is borrowed, but money is not an object.
It's not.
So they're sitting down, thinking about it, and they say, this is a fail-proof plan. Of course, all other things being equal, everything is in the hands of God. This is how we shall proceed. Now, instead of them, it goes back to what you said. Everybody begins to look for what is in it for me. And the only thing that is in it for me, from the point of view of some petroleum drivers or their bosses, is that, people are taking work out of our mouths.
Yes, exactly. That's their thinking. But they are not seeing the bigger picture that this work that is seemingly taken out of your mouth is also replaced by even a new vehicle, a new opportunity for you to drive something that is eco-friendly.
That's the investment Dangote has made is massive, because all these vehicles are, the tanker vehicles, the gas tanker vehicles.
Gas tanker vehicle, 1,000 units has been deposited right now in Lekki Free Trade Zone, and it's going to 10,000. Can we ask this union, how many are your drivers? Can we start thinking positively and say, okay, we have trained driver that has worked for 15 years. Even if it's going to do a refresher course, those are the things I expected them to put on the table, not forcing me to come and join your group. To do what? Is it not to work? And so if it is work, it's not saying nobody should work. We have not devised the technology that will bring the fuel from the refinery and put it in my car. We have not done that. So this fuel must still move. The same volume that you are moving and the same number of trucks that has been moving before will still move, which is the numbers of people that will still drive that tanker are still available for you. So I expected that they see reason for dialogue and say, win-win situation. Okay, you want to make sure that things are done properly. We also want to support you on that. But please consider, let us nominate, give you driver data that you can train in 1 week, 2 weeks, and then get into the system.
I suppose these are early days and it's a learning period. Yeah. This kind of a thing hasn't happened before. We have our first privately owned refinery. So maybe these are teething pains, because let's say all other things were equal and we had established a refinery 10, 15, 20 years ago, we'd have gone through all of these teething problems. But it is so sudden to them. They didn't see it coming. Yeah. Everybody was hailing Dangote refinery management and what it has done for Nigeria, for West Africa, for Africa, indeed for the world as a matter of fact. And we were lost in that until somebody woke up and said, wait a minute, you know, the Dangote refinery, it's in a delicate kind of situation. It's not everybody that actually loves its success. Yes. It's not everybody that loves the fact that he has seen this, Dangote has seen this to birth, and it is working, and everybody is acknowledging that it is making a difference. When was the last time we had queues at petrol stations? It can only get better, can't it? It can only get better. Exactly. So, well, here we are. There's very little more to be said about this whole matter, apart from the fact that a strike was averted. Because
it's a very good move.
I saw a few vehicles beginning to pile up at some petrol stations, but that might have been a coincidence. It might not have directly related to this. Or
you've forgotten the psyche of Nigeria. Immediately they are hiring 3 days ago, there will be strike. Everybody start
stockpiling.
There is no need. My driver came to ask me. I said, the one in the car, are you going to drink it? Let anybody go and try. First day, second day, everybody body will be calm down. Don't go and queue. So imagine if thousands of cars just come out from Lagos and start saying because there will be strike. Most times we like bad news so much. And you see them, people who are not petrol station, they want to do quick business. The kegs will start coming out. They have forgotten that that is what is responsible for most of the inferno that we normally have in Lagos. Yeah. The moment you don't see the queue again, did you see houses just get pawned in Jakande again? No. I've done some statistics about it. Every period that you see that is going to be a fair queue, you begin to see houses getting burnt. Why? Our people go to buy it and keep it in the house.
Pile.
No need.
There's no need for that.
No need for that. There's a lot of product, 40 million liters every day. Where do you... There's no need for panic buying.
That 40 million
liters every day.
A day.
A day.
Of
PMS. It's coming out of Dangote refinery.
A day?
A day. And 20 million diesel. A day.
And so where not to talk of this, aviation fuel and then natural gas.
Yes.
Now, natural gas, let's talk about that because Dangote has done a sizable investment in terms of trucks for how to transport those things safely. They're going to be state-of-the-art trucks.
Yes.
And how do you see the development of gas as an alternative for what American people call gas, which we call petrol?
Yeah. The CNG revolution in Nigeria is the way to go. Mind you, Nigeria is compressed natural gas. Mind you, Nigeria is more of gas nation than oil. Investments are not just coming into CNG as much as we have done in the last 50 years on oil. But when you talk about Nigerian proven reserve of oil and gas, we are more of gas nation than oil. So Dangote leading the way in the direction of using CNG gas is a plus, and also a positive pointer to present administration interested in developing gas system in Nigeria.
Okay.
He's taking the bull by the horn, and I can trust that many of the other investors who are a smaller player in Nigerian midstream will follow suit. By the middle or the end of this month, the AGPC, Annual Gas Processing Company, owned by Seplat will be turning out their first gas to sale. They have done extensive investment. The plant is running. If not the pipeline that is not available to take the domestic gas, we will have seen the first gas from Imo State on our pump, in our pump. But they will be selling to international by the end of this month. So gas is beginning to come up in Nigeria, and then we must also be following up on how to use it domestically. Yes. From our houses, our power, generation of power, truck, and cars.
Yes,
that will make environment green and reduce our carbon footprint.
Since you are so close to the noble concept of green, I wanted to ask you, some people have tried to experiment with CNG.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the reviews are all positive. Number one, first of all, CNG and petrol, there's a power loss between gas and the petrol. Yes. I understand. Even generators that use gas, well, dual fuel, even those that use gas, the specification, there's a slight drop for using gas. So tell us about the success so far and the fact that in Europe, CNG was tried, some time ago. I don't know if it is still a roaring success and everybody is doing it, or if people are voting for an alternative like propane, for instance.
Yeah, it's a success, but what is taking over in that place is electric vehicle.
Okay.
More than the fossil fuel. So the numbers of cars run on gas in Europe is not lesser than the one running on petrol. But what is catching up and overtaking them is electric vehicle.
Electric.
And now, Nigeria too is not left behind. Lithium is coming up in Nasarawa, and you can see the industries, manufacturing company coming into lithium space. That's to drive our reduction in fossil fuel. So gas, we are still just we are taking a baby step in it.
Okay.
And because it is not yet in the system, domestically available, which I just mentioned to you that the pipeline from the south, taking the gas to the domestic network in the major city, Lagos, Abuja, to the can, is yet to be finished. The section of it is just crossing the River Niger, and they are on it. Immediately that comes, we have more gas to wet the Nigerian nation, and thereby people will have access to it. Because in Abuja today, you see queue where to buy CNG to the car.
Okay.
But you won't see queue at buy to petrol.
Okay.
So we have done extensive investment in petrol selling. It's all over the place. But yet, we are yet to catch up on CNG filling station. It will take a time. We just started not quite long. So give it 1 or 2, 3 years with the availability of domestic gas by those giant AGPC and Shell, you will definitely see a catch up on the numbers of cars using CNG.
Now, in order to use CNG, compressed natural gas, there isn't any, it's the whole process of accepting it isn't as developed as for petrol, where it's all done in there. You buy a car, where you're going to put the petrol is part of the entire system. Yes. But here, what I see locally is a tank of some sort thrown in the back or put somewhere. I don't know, in your experience abroad, has it been integrated in the car, or must it always be that way?
Good, very good question. As of today in Nigeria, most of the cars that are on our road here are specifically designed for petrol usage. But there is a technology that brings about conversion to CNG. That's why you see those gas bottles slot into the trunk of the car.
Yes.
Now, in Europe, the Western world that are producing cars, they have the one that's already encapsulated with CNG tank, which is not so much available here. I understand. If you don't have the CNG station everywhere, how will you bring a car that is going to be using CNG? You are not going to make money. You must bring what people you are used to that will move market. That is why we are seeing it here. But over time, by the time they see that there are CNG stations everywhere, you will be seeing the investment in bringing in the car that are already been formatted to be using CNG or dual fuel coming into the system.
Because right now, it is only the big companies who can set up the infrastructure to receive the gas.
Yes.
And in fact, they don't even store it themselves. I think they receive the gas directly into their heavy-duty machinery.
Exactly. They receive it from the truck and deposited it out. So we have not have the infrastructure, pipeline network that carry gas. In Europe, you see that you just turn in your gas, you see your gas there. But not here. Everybody has to buy his own bottle and put it in the kitchen. That is what you see.
Okay.
But it takes time and it takes a lot of investment to get it into our nook and cranny. We need to even experiment it. We are saying we don't want to be using kerosene again. Let everybody move to gas that is clean in burning. How many homes in Nigeria has a gas pipe into it?
That's part of the problem.
That's part of the problem.
Let me take Yemi in Abulegba. Good morning, and thank you for calling in.
Yeah, good morning.
Okay, please go ahead.
Yeah, good morning, Uncle. Good morning to your guest.
Thank you. Thank you.
I want to contribute to your discussion.
Sure, we'd like you to.
You see, the tanker drivers or the whatever they call them, that they say they want to go on strike. You see, they don't know how the refinery works. You see, Dangote cannot be producing and don't have anybody to move the product out of refinery. Refinery are not meant to actually store products. It's to produce and move out. You see, why you don't say this in the past is that the NNPC has a pipeline network over 3,000 kilometers. As soon as you are producing, you are moving through the pipeline. So you do have the storage within the refinery. The product is moving out almost immediately, you are producing. But in the case of the Dangote refinery, it is not linked with any pipeline network. And as such, there must be a means of moving the product out of the refinery. So if he leaves the movement of the product to this PTD or NUPENG, if he leaves it to them, they wake up one morning and say, okay, they want to go on strike. And what happens? You cannot move the product out of the refinery. The refinery is forced to shut down. And the refinery is not meant to shut down abruptly. It has to shut down systematically. And this is the problem. They foresee that these people can actually, frustrate their production in the refinery. They have to they have to get the drugs to make sure that you can always move the product out of the refinery. And that is what they don't know. You see, the members or whatever the other marketers, they have enjoyed monopoly so much in the past. They enjoy monopoly in the past. How can somebody say he's investing in a tank farm? What is the tank farm going to do for you? You don't want a refinery. You don't have a refinery, and you want to import only to store in the tank farm. Tank farm is not an investment. Where are you getting your product from? You must be getting your product from, the refinery to store in the tank farm. You want to import fuel and store it back in the tank farm. How do you do a sense of investment? Now, they have enjoyed monopoly in the past. The so-called marketers, they've enjoyed the monopoly. In the past, they were getting, and in fact, they were trading with the government money. They buy from government only to pay back at the end of the month. So they were on credit. So now the gas facility is no longer there. They have to make the money available to do business, to get their business going. So it's not business as usual. When you have to buy from NNPC, it takes you one month before you actually pay back, and now you have to pay before you leave the product. So this is why they are actually inciting the NUPENG. I don't think the NUPENG that are actually doing this. It is the marketers that actually say, look, say you want to go on strike. No, they must know the situation in the country has changed. If they're coming up, the refinery, Dangote refinery.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you very much, Yemi in Abulegba, because that squares with what we've been discussing in here. That's another aspect. If there's any kind of a delay in the process, in fact, that's suicidal. This is suicidal. And he was talking about tank farms, and that is an anomaly in the situation that we're talking about here.
Yes.
Well, were we using tank farms in the past on this?
There's a tank farm in Warri, in Koko, in Djibouti, through the pipeline network.
Okay.
That people used to go intermittently to to tamper with. Dangote is not connected to that kind of network. So where will he put his 40 million liters every day? So if they do any yawana and say, today we are not loading, you have 40 million there, the next day 40 million, where will you put it? How many tank farms is going to build? Then the refinery will be forced to shut down. And the cost of shutting down that kind of 650,000 barrel capacity refinery is not a joke. It's a huge sum of money.
Indeed.
Then to bring it up again is another huge sum of money. Then if you begin to put it on the bottom line, it's not going to be a profitable business.
And that's the one thing with that kind of a massive investment he has to watch out for.
And we must also encourage him not to get it bad.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I'll tell you what, we'll take a quick break. Okay, thank you very much for staying with us, and welcome if you've just arrived. There still is a lot of meat on the bone. While we were away, Dr. Olatoye Drosimi, AIG retired, has been on the line. Good morning, Dr. Drosimi.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Thank you for calling in, sir.
I want to start from the simple and elementary definition of commerce that says that production is not complete until it gets to the final consumer. So Dangote bringing in CGN trucks is part of his production and is entitled to distribute his products. He has done that in cement production, and no one is talking. He had the truck that takes cement from the factories down to the final distributor. It's in order. And if you go back to history, I remember during the military, the federal government bought some vehicles, some trucks, which they were using to distribute products actually to all filling stations those days. And it's not a new thing. You do not just have to cooperate with Dangote. The most important thing is for Nigerians to get the right price for the petrol they are buying and make it cheaper. There's a proverb that says that whether you tie the cloth to the waist or you tie the waist to the cloth, the most important thing is for the waist to be covered. Yeah. So what we need is cheap, affordable petrol for our cars. And I think the federal government has done well by resolving the issues concerned. It's just a fear of unknown. That is worrying them. Dangote has done well, and it should be encouraged to do more so that the Nigerians will be able to get affordable price of petrol that we are using on our cars.
Indeed.
Kudos to Dangote once again. You should be encouraged to do more. Thank you. That's my contribution.
Thank you very much, Dr. Olatoye Drosimi. You know, I was just thinking about it. The trucks, Dangote trucks, we're talking about thousands of them. All of them brand new. They are arriving. A big tranche has landed. At the end of the day, when the delivery has been completed, those vehicles on our roads, what will be the effect? What will be the effect of both on our roads and on the vehicles themselves, given the condition of our roads, which is not a quick fix issue? Exactly.
That's another angle we need to look at. First, it's solving the immediate problem of distributing the fuel. The next thing is to look at the better way of doing it and reducing the numbers of kilometers this truck have to travel on our road that is not there. So I would expect that the government or the agency that are responsible in Petroleum Ministry and NNPC will sit down and see in what way are we going to enable this system that Dangote is running to be more efficient and overall beneficial to the nation, considering our road infrastructure that is not so good. If you are traveling from here through Ore to Ondo State, you know how much pothole, how much breakdown those vehicles will experience on the road. I won't be surprised if you see this brand new truck that came in 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago, in the next 4 months, begin to do check. I won't be surprised because there is no smooth road for them to also supply. Imagine taking the fuel from Lagos to Kaduna to Karanamuda. Do you know how many kilometers of travel this truck will subjected to? So in these present situations, I will expect that there's a partnership, there's an arrangement also to move this in large trunk, either by rail or by pipeline, to some node in Nigeria that we now have a catchment area like what we have in Kaduna, what we have in in Ogoni, what we have in Warri, what we have in Ore, Amansimi and Co. To now take this truck to do a short distance from wherever it is being deposited to the consumer in a safe manner. Thereby, our Nigerian road will also be available for the other user. And it will last longer. Okay.
Joshua in Irewolide, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning. The line is very clear this morning.
It is.
I greet you and I greet your guest.
Thank you.
Nice outfit. You're looking very good.
Thank you.
May Dangote continue to succeed. May Dangote continue to succeed. May Dangote continue to succeed.
Okay, you're insisting on it.
When you hear the name NUPENG, your blood pressure will go up. When you hear the name ASU, your blood pressure will go up. When you hear NLC, your blood pressure will go up. Because the only thing they know how to do is to shut down, lock down, cancel. Now, they should realize that Dangote is a private sector person. He's no longer government. He's not an NPC. The way they ran down all the refineries by all manners of anti-labor, whatever, everything, protest. Yes, workers' agitation is good because, like, when you have a monopoly, the tendency is there to exploit people. But we should also understand that we are more like in a global village now. It is Dangote cannot do what he likes. The oil sector is well regulated. And these things should be clear to everyone. Please, NUPENG, this is a private sector man. He put his money there. You guys should gather your own money and all those depots you are talking about. You are rich. Float your own refinery too, right? Dangote should please do everything. I love the fact that the presidency is supporting him. We Nigerians, Nigerian, I don't know about other Nigerians, but me, I'm supporting him. He will succeed, he will continue to succeed, and he will overcome everybody. This ASU too, the government will continue to prevail. Everybody, no strike. Everybody, thank you.
Thank you very much.
You forgot to call the resident doctor. But are dealing with us in Abuja now.
Exactly. He just wants us to be done with all these strike actions. The conditions that bring about the strikes is what is really wanting to disappear. Because once those conditions disappear, that's it. But you were telling me about the tank farms. These vehicles, do you know enough to share with us how they're going to be operated? Are they going to be distributed? They might be in one place right now, but are they going to be distributed all over the country so they don't have to come back to Lagos to fill from Lagos? Can Lagos not, the Lagos Dangote area, can it not pipe all those?
The product to different depots? We are not sure of what system he has in place.
Okay.
One
moment, sir. Okay. Let me bring on Mazi Okoroafo, who has just come on. Good morning, Mazi Okoroafo.
Good morning, Sayori. That's Mazi Okoroafo. Sayori, when we talk about this NUPENG, now there's something we have to look into. This issue of labor, employee, and the employer.
But they've sorted out their issues.
What?
They've sorted it out. Huh? They have sorted it out. No more strike. Okay.
I know there's no. But what I want them to understand is this: it's not a must that you must subject. There are two things: employer and employee. Dangote has come to revive the economy, which the economy is reviving day in, day in. He has come there to cushion the fact that all these small people say because of the movement of finance. Dangote has come now that the tankers will be bringing in all these things, that he has a special driver, which is very, very good. What the NUPENG should do now, and the labor people should be done, to join hands with Dangote so that other sectors will join hands and expand the distribution of these petroleum products. Transportation, when you go to commerce and industry, transportation, communication, insurance, name them, are the key points in terms of business. Now, you pick up this transportation issue now. People should not sit down one place and be frustrating the efforts of private partners. And the government has given a leverage for anybody to come and participate, for the economy to move so that nobody will be complaining. So that when you collect your salary, whether it is 5 naira or 2 naira, you are satisfied. But some people, did you not look? What we discovered that now you ask those union members, right from the agree that what were they doing when our refineries were not moving fine? Were they not at there? Were they not? Is it not their job to go and make sure that refineries work very well, so that things will balance? It will not reach this civil level of another entrepreneur coming to survey the economy. Only one person, not the federal, not the state, not the local government. So people should encourage one another. That is helping Nigerian economy for the masses, even the bourgeois. Bourgeois uses diesel, bourgeois uses petrol, bourgeois uses jet oil, that's offline. So nobody that is not benefiting. So I don't like some people to sit down, say, yeah, you know this thing, for that reason. Now all those organs there, see how their tummy, look where they are doing it, see how big their tummy is. Even some of them, their tummy say, even to start off saying, no, wahala, you start asking. Is it not Nigerian money? If they are not, they just think that the union aims to see that to be enriching themselves at the detriment of the masses. They should go and do the needful to bring in people to repair our refineries, to bring in people and establish more refineries, not to sit down and be processing one who's in there. That they have told me, honestly, one day, if I go there, that will have a blessed day in Lagos.
Thank you very much, Matthew Kurapo.
Please don't punch anybody, Tommy. The system is going to punch it by itself.
Exactly. You know. And we were talking about the fleet. This is a massive fleet of vehicles. We were talking about the effect of Nigerian roads, the current state of Nigerian roads on those vehicles, unless it's going to result in some areas not being serviced simply because the roads are bad. Right. But I don't know that it will get to there. But just looking at it, I'm sure the kind of businessman that I imagine Dangote will be, you can't come in with thousands of trucks and not have your own network of, what is it, motor workshops.
Yeah, sure.
To
do a repair, there must be.
I'm sure there must be.
After-sales service is going to be top-notch.
It's going to be top-notch, and it's going to be coming directly from the suppliers of those things because the volume is sufficient.
Yes.
So maybe this is what some people are looking at, that the way Dangote is going, it's a self-contained unit. He has the vehicles, he has the drivers, he has the repair workshops. So and the spares. Nobody can tell Dangote anything about this part is not available. We have to order it from abroad. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? So these are the kind of situations that we have on our hands, and I think people just have to learn. We've made the point earlier that it's new. It's new to our people. We've never had a complete, across the board kind of an application like this. Now NUPENG. Contrary to, let me just say, contrary to that viewer who said that, that was Joshua in Irewolede, that when you hear NUPENG, your blood pressure will go. But now NUPENG has made itself the darling of Nigerians by saying that, okay, we agree to call off the strike.
Yeah. They have seen the handwriting. Ask me, where were they when Warri Refinery has been down for years? Are they not supposed to be the down to? In fact, they're supposed to say, we are not going to receive our salary except you fix this the refinery. But they were collecting salary. They are going on. They are taking allowances. They are going on a training. They are collecting promotion. So I expected them that they should have been the one in forefront if they actually like Nigeria. And that is why they see that Nigerians is not in their support. That's why they have to backtrack it.
Of course. Because
if they don't,
it is unfortunately, that might not have been their intention, but NUPENG was very nearly in the crosshairs of Nigerians, that these people have come again. These people have come to spoil a good thing. I think, and that wouldn't have been the intention of the drivers. No. They were just looking out for their crust. Yeah. And labor, for its own part, Of course, Labour will come on and be telling us all sorts of things, the unionizing and all. Yeah, so now Dangote has said that no problem, but let people choose where they want to be. That wouldn't have been satisfactory to Labour, because this has happened now. And I imagine that people have taken note.
Yeah, it's in our constitution, section 40.
It is there.
You are free to choose whether you want to join Labour or you don't want to join.
Franklin in Apapa, good morning to you, sir. Franklin.
Uncle Yoru, good morning. How are you today, sir?
Very well, thank you. Go ahead, please.
Okay. You see, sometimes I wonder what people... Most of these people who call themselves oil and gas experts. Oil and gas expert is not on paper. Most of them doesn't even have a crop or a filling station. Everybody wants Dangote to succeed. If you ask your guests there, possibly I started a comprehensive PIA Act, or the Free Trade Zone Act. What we are trying to say, we want him to succeed. We are talking about transportation at that time. Let me tell you something. In all the depots here, most of them are line value. It's one of the part of this distribution through coastal line. Distribution through coastal line, the MPA and all of them, we generate revenue there. Some depots are there. The so-called NMPP are there. They are line value. If them get distributed or saying road, I'm not saying Dangote is not distributed. They are all in support of Dangote's effort. Look at it. If you are transporting from here to through road to Calabar, if you are transferring from here, you know the vessel through coastal road, through coastal, Mani coastal. You go take it to Calabar, you can take it to Agara, you can take it to that is same distribution. So, and another thing I want to say is this: is that we do not see labor as a threat to national economy. We use this Pengasan, NUPENG, and all of them to gain this democracy in the country. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I like the point he made last about we shouldn't see labor as a clog in the wheel of progress.
Yes.
You know, because labor has its own function and
to checkmate the excesses of government.
Exactly. Did you want to comment on that?
Yeah, it's a valid point. But when it comes to this kind of a multi-billion dollars project and the criticality of it to the survival of the Nigerian economy, we cannot treat it as the era of where NUPENG is against the military junta. This is a business. We must make sure
it's a different setup from the Kokori days.
From Kokori days of government trying to rule by iron fist or dictate what people should do. This is about business, and the business must be allowed to survive for the overall interest of the nation.
I think that's a fine place to leave it. Thank you very much for coming on our program, Engineer Olusegun. Okay.